I'm here with some more threats. And also, y'all, I forgot to tell you, I also got my own news thing for the Egypt. When I get my Egypt back, okay? This is the kind of, but it's called Egypt. Anyway, this is a threat that was sent to my deities. You know them dolls that be like, when y'all read about Egypt. I got them dolls that protects me. Yeah, they send it to me, okay? So it goes to them, and like they send it to me. I be reading them, and sometimes I be forgetting to tell y'all. So this is one of them, okay? Let's begin. Social media hate campaign targets Syrians in Egypt, calls for their expulsion. Campaign may be inspired by sharp rise in cost of living or recent official statements on the expensive involved in hosting 9 million migrants, analysts say. Oh, Lord. I mean, people coming to my shit, okay? A social media campaign calling for the expulsion of Syrians living in Egypt had caused a stir in the most populous Arab nation and raised questions about its motives and timing. Egypt says it is home to 9 million guests, the term used by government officials when referring to migrants. Syrians, mostly families who fled civil war in their country, are thought to account for 1.5 million of those, making up the second largest group after about 5 million Sudanese. The government has publicly distanced itself from the social media campaign and sought to make clear that this was unrelated to recent counts of foreigners living in the country. True, unlike the Sudanese or the Iraqis, many Syrian migrants quickly established themselves in business after their arrival a little more than a decade ago. They have opened thousands of stores and eateries across the country that proved a hit with the majority of Egyptians. Yes, who now look for and sour Syrian versions of traditional dishes such as hummus, tabbouleh, and manakish. Their success was celebrated by Egyptians as an example of how hard work and entrepreneurship pay off. Now. They packed their eateries and snapped up food items from their supermarket shelves, all at affordable prices. And for years, everyone was a winner. The Syrians found in Egypt a safe place to live with similar language, cultures, and customs, and an eager market for their businesses. For the Egyptians, the Syrians for their business, okay. For the Egyptians, okay, I just read that. But in hundreds of social media posts in recent weeks, Egyptians have condemned Syrians as parasites, black marketers, hoarders, and a burden on the country sagging under the weight of its worst economic crisis in decades. The Post blamed Syrians for steep rises in the cost of goods and housing, with some social media users declaring their intention to bar them from renting or buying apartments in their buildings. Will it make their life so miserable they will want to leave? Why are they in love with our country when they have one of their own? One man declared in a video post, "Neither me nor other Egyptians want you here." Who? Said another, "I really don't." Do you have a country of your own or not? Why don't you just go back home? Said another social media loser. The hate speech was in some cases countered by Syrians, also losing social media. One losing an account under the name of Ibn Howen mocked claims by some Egyptians that he and his compatriots pose a threat to national security. He, however, added that some posts by Syrians may have angered Egyptians, such as a video clip in which a man called on the government to give Syrians the southeast enclave of Habib as an alternate home that they could turn into another Hong Kong. I will. After all this shit's over. No one knows what it's already here, but no one knows what exactly triggered the anti-Syrian campaign, which despite being peppered with hate speech and xenophobia, has so far not led to any violence. Abbott, a popular talk show host on NBC Egypt, speculated that it might have been inspired by Egyptian businessmen who want to dislodge Syrian competitors or the economic crisis gripping the country of 105 million. Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. Another explanation offered by commentators that the campaign may have been in response to recent government statements that refer to the costs of hosting migrants. Governor spokesman Mohammed Al-Hamsin said the administration rejected any targeting of foreigners. We totally reject the social media campaign against all nationalities and not just the Syrians. We don't give any weight to the campaigns. We all know how generous the Egyptian people are, he said this week. He said the recent count of foreigners conducted by the Interior Ministry, which handles visas and residence permits for foreigners, was only done to determine the number of migrants living in Egypt and to legalize their stay when required. The government wanted to know what the state bears in contributing to the welfare of its dear guests and to determine their actual numbers so that it can secure proportional aid from international donors and partners, he said. But Mr. Al-Hamsi loses the face what the state bears. Now look here. Your family know, your old people in your family, they know this, okay? Y'all might not know this because y'all were born into this, but they was already here, they all know the rules. Okay? So they ain't gonna tell you when you grow up, okay? So if you were raised here, I guess you still a migrant to me, cause I don't know you. Okay? I know your people, but I don't know you. Okay. Anyways, but Mr. Al-Hamsi loses the face what the state bears amounted to an acknowledgement that the logic behind the anti-Syrian campaign is partly sound. London-based author and political analyst Shady Lewis Bostros wrote in an article posted online this week. Although geographically distant Egypt and Syria have had a special relationship for centuries, Egyptian kingdoms dating back to pharaonic times often included parts or the whole of present-day Syria. The two belong to the Romans, Byzantines, and Arab Muslim empires. The Mamluks of Egypt, who ruled from 1250 to 1517, had Syria as part of their state just as the Ottomans did after them. In more recent times, Egypt and Syria was unified as the United Arab Republic in 1958, but broke up 3 years following a military coup in Damascus. In 1973, the armies of Egypt and Syria disseminately launched a surprise attack against Israel in what became known as the fourth and last Arab-Israeli War. Yes, my daughters. That common history and close religious and ethnic links have deepened the shock and dismay felt by many Egyptians over the anti-Syrian campaign, which were launched with hashtags such as the expulsion of the Syrians and a national duty of Syrians in Egypt as a threat to national security. Mr. But the NBC talk show host, said he was surprised that Egyptians should be engaged in the campaign when there were as many as 12 million Egyptians living in other countries. They opened businesses, they employed Egyptians and paid taxes. He said of the Syrians, what scared me the most is the possibility that this verbal violence against them turned into physical violence. This is not the first time that Syrians in Egypt found themselves facing trouble in Egypt. True, Syrians were targeted by Egyptian mobs in the immediate aftermath of the removal from power in 2013 of an Islamic president, Mohammed Morsi, who has severe diplomatic relations with Syria and protests over President Bashar al-Assad's brutal suppression of a popular uprising against his rule in 2011. True, the anti-Syrian sentiment that year did not catch on and proved to be short-lived. Okay, enjoy.